is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new CVX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InteriamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good Friday, right? Every Friday is good because you made it. It's the weekend. We are here. Yes, sir. We're ready to go. We are ready to complete the championship circle. I asked Grok today on Twitter. I said, what city in the United States of America has championships in all 5 pro sports? And I put out, MLB, NBA. No one. So tomorrow at 2:30, InteriamiCF has an opportunity to complete the circle. Okay? Just saying. 5 major sports. If they win tomorrow, South Florida, the Miami area, Fort Lauderdale, whatever, has where they have the 5 pro teams, will have all 5 titles. So big stuff. Big stuff. We're spoiled. And guess who's more spoiled? I have been around for all the titles. I have been alive. I have witnessed all the titles. That is a blessing. That's the real blessing right there. I mean, even though the Dolphin one, I was 7, 8 years old, I was really young. So, but I witnessed it, it is what it is. Do remember all of it, it just pretty cool. Pretty cool that every pro team that we've added at one point or another has won a title. And that's kind of a spoiled, you know what I'm saying? And we're blessed. We're blessed. We're really, really, really blessed, So it's really cool to be in this position as a South Florida sports fan. And I don't know how many of you have had the same kind of luck that I've had, that you were alive and born at the time when all of this developed and able to win, pro titles in all of our sports, which is really, really freaking cool, man. So tomorrow will be big. At least for those of us, I've always followed local soccer. So for me, local soccer has always been super important. I've loved watching it grow in spite of all the hatred that local soccer has had over the years. It has still grown into a major sport here in this country. And at the same time, it has grown to the point where it's one of those where actually it's the one trending upward more than other sports actually right now. At this point, it's probably trending upwards more than baseball and hockey. I can tell you that. That's for sure. So kids are more gravitating more to soccer than those sports every day of the week and twice on Sundays. So tomorrow will be a big day for South Florida sports. And we can kind of bragging rights, for us here in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, that we've been able to enjoy championships in every single pro team. Now, let's hope that Messi and the boys complete it. I think they will this time. I don't think we're going to see what we saw last year. I don't think we're seeing anything like that, like last year. You know what I'm saying? So It is what it is. But anyway, so we'll have some fun. We'll get it done, and we'll see if the boys are able to complete all 5, which would be pretty freaking amazing. So I didn't think it was like that. Luis Suarez is now increasingly likely to leave Inter Miami. His reports, which, by the way, come on, he's not coming back. There's no way you bring that idiot back anymore for bad PR. It's not worth it. You can find other good players. So, it is what it is. Let's see. Our card says Los Angeles. The Rams just won it. Right? That's true, because the Rams, it was St. Louis when they won it before. It was in LA. So LA, do the LAFC, is it LAFC or LA Galaxy? One of them might have a title. Probably LAFC. Maybe even Galaxy has a title from years ago. It could be. Definitely the Dodgers. The Kings have had it. That's a good one, actually. The LA should have all of them, right? Because the Raiders, where did the Raiders win all their titles? And then the Rams, I know, didn't the Rams win anyways in the prior NFL, like with Merlin Olsen and those guys? Didn't they win in those NFL days? Look that up for me, when the Rams won the titles, or the Raiders, because that's the key. The other ones, he's right. The other ones do have it.
It was 2022.
That's it. The Rams.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the other times the Rams and the Raiders won, it was out of LA. That's what it looks like? Unless
but Los Angeles has won championships in the big 5 major sports. They have a championship in each.
Yeah, they do. That's right, because the Rams had just completed it. So the Rams don't have any titles from, like, what was it, Merlin Olsen, like the 50s? Those days?
What I'm looking at here on the one they only showed the 2022.
Okay, because I know the other Rams edition didn't win anything. The Flipper Anderson, all those, Rams teams, Vince Ferragamo and all that, they came up short, but they didn't win. He's right. Actually, the Rams in LA now did complete it with the latest Rams win. And then the Raiders wins were never in LA. They were either in Oakland. They were in Oakland then.
It appears that way, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
for a short time to LA before they didn't win anything with it's interesting.
And LA actually has 6 because they have the WNBA Sparks as well.
Oh, yeah, that's it. They beat us already with that. We don't have we had a WNBA team for a short time, but that's dead in the water. So we can't get the W. So LA, that's right. LA did complete it with the Rams' latest championship. So even LA, who's been there forever, it took them now to 2022. So we'll be second. That's pretty cool. And then eventually, by the way, Fort Lauderdale United will get us a title. And so then we'll have the women's, pro championship. But we can't put that pressure on them right now. Well, they could make it. They did get to the championship last year in their first year, which is crazy, which is like really crazy to expect to do stuff like that. But so good stuff. Historic tomorrow for South Florida sports. Get a win in every single sport. You know how spoiled we are to have that? If it happens. Do you predict pots and pans, Sean? What do you think?
1,000%.
I think so too. I think you'll get the pots and pans. I think you will. I think eventually you'll get that. So as long as and hopefully, the people that come out of there hopefully act like human beings too, which I think that's been normally for South Florida sports. We don't really act like the idiots in other cities, Philadelphia, Los Angeles. We don't do all that kind of animal stuff that they do in those other cities. that they act like absolute idiots and start trashing their towns and tearing down street lights and lighting shit on fire and turning over cars and all that. We never do that kind of stuff. We actually celebrate our championships in a very classy fashion, which is actually pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of South Florida in that sense because, man, there are some places out there. Ooh. Now, the New York thing is weird, bro, because you got teams in New Jersey. So I don't know how it all breaks down that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And I'm not counting the NASL, bro. That's old. That's not even now. So we got to go with the MLS. The MLS is the league that you go by. You don't go by the old NASL. Yes, sir.
New York City FC does have one title.
Oh, nice. And they do play in the Bronx.
They do, yes.
So you've got them.
Red Bulls play in Jersey.
Right. Well, then New York City has to have it then, right? Because the Yankees have it. The Rangers have it. And see, the Devils are in Jersey. So it's like, doesn't count. You know what I mean? So who else is missing?
Yeah, they got the Giants.
And the Knicks won it.
The Knicks, yep.
Years ago, the Knicks won it. Just like the Dolphins. Same shit. It's kind of weird how the Dolphins and the Knicks and the Jets they're kind of like the same shit. Isn't it weird? Like they all won like so long ago. It's just like a half a century ago, and it's almost like we're tired of the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Mets claiming the Mets actually won a title in '85. Right, so they did win with the Strawberry and the boys and all that. That team was loaded. God, that team was loaded. Holy shit, that team was loaded. So yeah, didn't they win one of those? So yeah, like the Jets and the Dolphins and the Knicks. That's what it is. Like your championships are so old. It's like you can mention them, but like kind of stay quiet a little. Yeah, we won, but yeah, it was a long time ago. It was like a whole other world ago, pretty much. That's the sad part about it. Jack says LA Rams played in the Orange Bowl back in the late 60s when they lost the championship game. They used to have a game for the Super Bowl finalists, but never made it to the Super Bowl game. Yeah, it's before my time. But I know they were really good. I just didn't know if they won. I can't tell you all the winners from the 50s and stuff like that. But I know the Merlin Olsen teams were badass teams. They were really good teams. So tomorrow we get a chance to step into history, which is pretty cool. Pretty spoiled, actually, for our town. Ocala Joe says, morning, old has a few things going for us. It's called We Lived It. Yeah, we lived it, which is pretty cool. So we just need them to kind of complete it, and then we'll have a little bit of history here in South Florida, which is cool, which is really, really cool. Yeah. So anyway, let's enjoy it. I don't know how many of you are going to even watch it tomorrow. I don't even know how many of you actually even care to watch tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the bug hasn't bitten all of you. Some of you will watch only because of Messi, obviously. But some of us will actually watch because, it's going to be a cool moment if they're able to complete it, of course. If they're able to complete it. So we'll see. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Let's see. And by the way, Grok on Twitter, not very accurate, I guess. So watch out when you ask them questions. They may not get everything right. Stephen Harris in. Morning to you. Yes, TGIF. Hell yeah. I get a Saturday off. Soon I'll have Sundays off too, because obviously the Dolphins aren't making the playoffs. Jeff is in Long Island. Jaybird in the house. By the way, we just dropped the Lily Nabet interview with the midfielder from Fort Lauderdale United. So check that out. Check out Sophie Harding's interview and Lily Nabet. We had a lot of fun in those interviews, talked about all kinds of things like we always do. Make sure you hit the like button and share and all that kind of good stuff. And support the ladies, by the way, when they're back in action next week in Jacksonville. But that interview just dropped this morning also, and you can check it out. What else? Let's see. Gus 1388. Jack Sultan in the house. JG Long in NorCal. He's smoking it. What else? Eddie Lepp, good morning to you. Juan Rosa. I've been alive for all of them except the Finns. Missed it by 2 years. The one I want the most. One day. I don't know if I'm going to be around, but one day. Let's see what else. Think Blue Dodgers is smashing it and smoking it. Miami, Panama. Big O, how about the New York? Yep, we did that. We talked a little bit about that. Skylar Tipton. Oscar Rojas. Jeff in Long Island. Some of the usuals. Ray Varnicus. Brian Landis. Hello to you. Mr. Spock. Who has been the biggest disappointment of the 2025 South Florida sports? Mario with the Canes or Mike with Mike McDaniel. At least Mario won 10 games. At least he'll end up in some, half-decent bowl game, whatever. But the bigger disappointment is the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a constant because you've kept McDaniel around. It's just a malaise that they have. At least the Canes are headed in the right direction. They're the best they've been in years. Mario has drastically improved the program from within, the talent, all of it. He has done a really good job overall. He has to now get the results on Saturdays, and he has to do it without help. Okay, this help bullshit is just crap. This is why I'm not losing my mind like some of you Canes fans out there, because you're all butthurt because you're not in. The system is the system. It's always been like that. There's always going to be a bias, and definitely a Notre Dame bias. And when you lose late and you lose to shitty teams, you put yourself in that position. So, yeah, I'm disappointed in Mario because he lost to Louisville. I'll give him the SMU break this year. Next year, by the way, I give Mario no breaks. Run the table now. Now, in your fifth year with the best, you've had the best recruiting classes in the ACC by miles the last 2 years. You are kicking Clemson and FSU's ass over and over and over again in recruiting. Okay? I mean, you are trashing FSU and Clemson the last 2 years. So, I don't know who your quarterback is going to be next year, but you better find him. And this year, I gave Mario the break of one loss. I said 11-1. That would be your acceptable record because you're humans. You got to lose a game. You're not there at the program. And sure enough, you lost the second one. And you're in a shitty conference. Okay? Next year, the standard goes even higher now. Now, the standard is run the table in the ACC. You cannot lose a game. You need to run the table, and you're in and out of conference schedule. You're better than everybody, including Notre Dame on November 7th. So I expect the Canes to be undefeated at the end of the year. And if Mario loses one game next year, he will be a disappointment. Okay? That's just the way it goes. You've recruited the talent. Show me your coaching, dude. And that's where Mario and his staff constantly fail. They fail in the coaching department. But Mike McDaniel, he's a complete joke. And the owner is a bigger joke for even keeping this clown around. He should have been fired last year, not this year, last year he should have been fired. But we have a shitty owner, and it is what it is. So what are you going to do? There's nothing more disappointing than the Dolphins because you're dead in the water to start everything because you have that owner. So nothing is more disappointing than the Miami Dolphins because Stephen Ross is a useless fucking turd. Okay? That's all. So nothing more disappointing than a useless fucking turd. And that's Stephen Ross. Let's see, what else do we have? Roman Gabriel. Yes, sir, Jack. Back in the day, I remember that. What else? Let's hit the like button. Smash the like button. Let's go. Watching the World Cup draw at noon today. Yeah, I'll be watching it. I'm certainly not going to get up in the morning and make the line that they were making for the media and all that to get in. Did you see that thing in the morning? That was bad, dude. And cold ass weather. Yeah. No, I'll watch it on TV. My love for the sport will be there. I don't need to be there anymore. I'm good enough watching it on television and watch the draw. God, that is crazy, dude. That is insane. But whatever. It is what it is. So I think the orangutan is actually going to be there. I don't know why you would even bring him there. He's useless in that area, but it is. Oh, well, he's useless to pretty much everywhere, but just that. Anyway, so we'll see the draw. And not that I have a ton of hope for the U.S., but we'll see what happens if this younger, they are much more athletic. We'll see if they can get something out of them. We'll see with the new coach. That last outing was really nice against Uruguay. Wow, that was. But I don't know if that was like a day where everything was so perfect, your passes, and you were on point with everything. So it's hard for me to take that and run with that and say that's what I'm going to see. I need to see a lot more because, the U.S. team has let me down so many times over the decades. It's been tough for us to be the country that we are with the athletes that we have to not have developed one of the best soccer teams in the world. To me, is kind of, resources, athletes, everything. It just shows that the system is so defective that, it just doesn't work. So I don't know. Maybe one day they'll fix it. We'll see, Giovanni. We shall see. Juan Rosa. Yeah, Heat is at Magic tonight. I don't know if Powell's playing. Hopefully he is. Magic are favored by 5.5. Over and under is 241.5. Let's see. Devin, TGIF, headed to New Jersey tonight for the Jets-Dolphins game. Good for you. Enjoy, my friend. Although it'll be cold as hell. I am very nervous about that game. Very, very nervous. Very nervous. John, buenos dias to you, sir. Lenny says Jeff Brom ran circles around Mario Cristobal and his coaching staff. Looks like Mario did not prepare his team for that game. They were caught completely off guard. Carson Beck was horrible. Yeah, and that's why you're not in the playoffs. I don't have a problem with that. You're in a shitty conference. There's no respect for the ACC. The only people that think there's respect for the ACC are broadcasters inside the ACC or homers for the ACC or anything like that. It is what it is. There's a bias for the SEC and the Big Ten. Live with it. And it was the same thing as the Big Least. Same shit. But you got to do the same thing those teams did in the days of the Big Least. They ran the table. Okay? NorCal is a puffin, the blueberry fritter. See, that's where Sean looks at it and says, wait a minute, isn't that like a real snack? And then NorCal says, yes, it is. And then they go back and forth, and then, only one guy's happy. The other guy's like, bro, it's not real food. But NorCal's telling him, it is for me. And so, it's just blueberry fritter. That would be a very disappointing move for Sean Stanley. Because, it'd be all smoke. There'd be no substance for him. Let's see, what else do we have here? Georgie Boy says, sadly, the Dolphins aren't even remotely close. Would take 3 years of competency with their decisions to turn them around, and that competency does not exist within the franchise. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Big O, the Cowboys are likely totally like us. Big game yesterday, coming into great wins. Although, yeah, but the last 2 wins they had were, I don't know if Miami has had 2 wins like that. They had one with Buffalo, but they haven't had 2 wins like that. It was hard to ask the Cowboys to go into Detroit and make it 3 in a row against those 3 opponents. It was hard to ask them to do that, dude. Plus, Detroit was kind of reeling a little bit, and they had to win also to get their shit back on track too. You know, that was going to be a tough situation for them. That was going to be a tough situation for them. I didn't like necessarily the Cowboys in that situation. If they would have won, they would have continued to shock me. I got to say, you know, they would have continued to shock me, but I kind of expected Detroit to win. The Wise Guy, by the way, speaking of that, the Wise Guy went 3-0 last week, and Steve Calabro is going to join us in a few minutes. All right, so we'll get the picks from Steve Calabro.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Thank you. Appreciate you all out there. Don't forget, folks, Sloman's Home Shield. When it comes to Shield Link, oh, man, 1-800-ALARM-ME. And we are in 49 states now, okay? 49 states. And you can install an app and right from your phone. And if you're headed home, you can turn on the AC, you can turn on the lights. Maybe you're arriving a little late to the house and it's going to be dark and it gets dark earlier. You want to turn on the lights, you know, show like you've got some action going on in the house, or you want to cool down the house. Also, so when you get there, the house is not hot and all that kind of stuff. Or if you got dogs like we do roaming the house, you kind of want to maintain a decent temperature in the house. You know what I'm saying? Cameras outside the home. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, dude. When you can control the thermostat, the lights, the cameras, all of that. Anybody approaches your home, you get the notification right away. Somebody leaves the house and forgets to lock the door accidentally. They're talking on the phone. They just close the door and they get some news and all of a sudden they forgot to put the key in and lock the door. You're going to have a sensor. It's going to tell you that the door is unlocked. You can then lock it. I mean, you know, it's called peace of mind. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Shield Link can get it done for you. Please call them. Tell them the Big O sent you. And listen, when it comes to Sloman's, they've been protecting Americans for over 100 years. Take advantage. All right. Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donation. Bitcoin is at 91,000 right now, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with the one and only David Furones and our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right, David, I want you to know, don't count on Grok to get shit right, because I asked Grok, hey, any city won championships in every pro sport? I put NHL and MLB, NBA, and said no. Actually, LA just completed it with the Rams, so Grok didn't even know that. So be careful. Don't ask Grok; they don't really know everything. So okay. AI is not all knowing. I just want you to know that. Just want you to know.
Like all pro sports teams from that city, right? Because Chargers haven't won there, nor neither have the Clippers.
No, LA got it because the Rams just got it now in 2022. I forgot about that.
Well, yeah,
and I guess Brock did too, because when LA won all the other championships, Raiders and Rams, they were either in Oakland or St. Louis, actually.
Right.
Which is
funny.
funny.
The Raiders never won. Yeah, which right. They got the first pro football championship, but I'm saying it's not trying to say all the teams in it, which would count like the Clippers and the Chargers.
Just a pro team in
a pro team in that league has won, right?
Yeah, exactly. And New York also has it because NYCFC has one. So if Inter wins tomorrow, we will join that elite class.
Look at that.
That has a title in all 5 major pro sports. Okay, and how many of us, yours truly, have lived and watched all the titles from all the teams?
Not many, because of one team in particular
that can make that claim. That's the other thing I noticed also, that I'm very blessed to have lived all the titles.
Wait, you're that old? I had no idea, Big O.
I was born in '66, dude. I was 7 and 8 for the first titles for the Dolphins.
Yeah. I was trying to say you look young. You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm old. Maybe I look younger than 59.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that I'm old, bro. Yeah, there's no doubt I'm old. So I'm old and blessed, I guess. You know, that's kind of the way I look at it. So it is what it is. But yeah, tomorrow, if Messi and the boys can complete it, we would have won titles in every pro sport.
Yeah, you could add college football there too with the.
Well, now it's a pro sport, but we technically haven't won since it's a pro sport.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, I'm just saying college football as an aside. But yeah. I get you that now it's pro. Yeah.
But when you throw that in, LA and New York are out the fucking window.
Well, no. Well, LA has USC.
Oh yeah, they do have USC. Damn it. Yeah. I know. And UCLA won at some point.
Right.
At some point. So yeah. So they do have that. New York does. New York doesn't have any college football. I mean, Rutgers is Jersey, actually. Right. So it doesn't really matter. That's like
you're not counting Columbia University.
Yeah. I don't think any of those other places are going to have anything else. So yeah, LA does have USC and UCLA. I don't know when UCLA won it, but I'm pretty sure UCLA won a title.
Yeah, I mean, definitely rich basketball history, but I'm not sure about football.
Yeah. No, I think they did win one in football back in the day. I do think so. I think they did steal one. Check it out. Check it out there, Sean. He's always going to correct us there. Oh, here he's got the stat already.
All right, let's
1954.
54.
Yeah.
You were not alive for that one.
No, I was not alive for that one. No, I was alive for some of the USC ones that's for sure. But yeah, I know. But I can only claim the ones here in South Florida, which is pretty cool. Will you watch tomorrow?
Let's see. Well, so I'm gonna be in New York, and then I'm kind of like at the liberty of what, because I'm going to be hanging out with some friends that I have out there. So I'll be keeping track. I'll be trying to track it in addition to the college football, but, you know, I'll just be out and about. So I'll see, like, you know, if they have it on, you know, a bar, restaurant, whatever, then hopefully. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I doubt they really give a shit about it over there in New York.
Right.
Way.
Well,
none of the teams are involved. So
I feel like that you barely hear about it in South Florida, honestly.
yeah, they've done a shit job of connecting with the community.
Yeah.
That's just because it's very elitist. It's a problem. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of that in soccer. But they're so fanatical in other places they can get away with that. Here you can't, bro. If you don't cater to the fans and the media, you're not going to connect. You're just not going to connect. So you're going to have to do some kind of like I was talking to Michelle yesterday. She was on the show when she got Suarez 2 days ago. It was the first time they had ever talked to Suarez after all the crap that's gone on with him, spitting, all that. They never made him available. None of it. This was like way after everything's done and in the water's under the bridge and all that. Now's when they get him. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of crazy. Our boy Safid Dean gets the job of following Messi, but he can never talk to Messi.
It's unbelievable. Two things on that front. When I visited Spain, and then just hearing from the Spanish media members there, they were taken aback at how the NFL does things with the media, which is truly first class. Like they couldn't believe they had locker room access. You know, some of them have, you know, never done that. I mean, I think there's a lot of Spanish media that cover Real Madrid full time that got to go in the locker rooms in that stadium for the first time, and you know, covering an NFL team. So they couldn't believe the way the NFL caters to the media and how they do it right there. And then we were having this discussion. The second thing I want to say in the press box ahead of the Saints game, because we were talking about the exact topic of how Inter Miami hasn't really left its mark kind of with the South Florida fan base as far as just
elitist bullshit. Typical soccer. Typical. Bro, have you ever dealt with U.S. soccer? You ever dealt with U.S. soccer? I have. I've been an announcer. I've done all that shit. Fucking bunch of elitist, pull straight up their ass bullshit, dude. It's like, like they act like their shit doesn't stink. And bro, you're U.S. soccer. You're fucking sewage, bro. What are you talking about? You better kiss everybody's ass. And they don't do that. And they don't do that either in U.S. soccer. It's a soccer thing, the snobbish bullshit that they do. It is.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And we were talking about, like, wouldn't Inter Miami benefit from if just every now and then Messi was visible in interviews? I mean, we know he doesn't have to cater to the media. He's as great as he is and all this, but
no, he runs the team. It's his coach, it's his GM, it's his friends that are here, all of that. It's like he runs. They don't tell him what to do. He tells them what to do. That's what goes on. They sold their soul and they have to go with this. And hopefully tomorrow it pays off in that sense, hopefully, because that's what they desperately need, because the only way they're really going to connect is by winning and win so much that people just get on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? But they've done a shit job of connecting with the community.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing with last season, how they were ousted in the first round of the playoffs, and it's just like, really, all this for that, but yeah.
Right. And then and you're going to get treated worse because look what you did, and the way you've treated people. And so, but that's just kind of the way it goes. It's sad, it is, but they have done a piss poor job of how to manage things. So it's funny that I hear that from the European press when they freak out how US works. A lot different than that, because all they're used to is walking up in front of a stupid board, and they bring them 2 players, and then that's it, and then they leave, and the coach, and then that's all they get. They don't get anything else.
And it could be. It doesn't have to be the goalie or the goal scorers. nothing. It could just be anyone on the team, and that's who you're stuck with.
That's who you're stuck with. Yeah,
Someone who had no impact on the game, maybe.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap, but that's kind of the way they've run things in that sport. I've dealt with that. I've covered international soccer, so when it's been here in the past over the years, so I've kind of experienced all of that, and U.S. soccer too. By the way, I'll throw those assholes in that mix too, because they are absolutely horrible. After my experiences of working with them, I never wanted to work with them again because it was just too much, bro. Too much. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not about, shitting on people and all that. That's just kind of, it's really uncool. But anyway, it is what it is. All right. So I'm really nervous about this game, dude. I got to tell you, the way Tua's playing, he is playing like a guy that isn't focused. He's playing like a guy. I don't see the same guy I saw with Nick Hicks. I don't see the same guy maybe prior to the hip injury last year. I don't see the same guy that was deadly accurate on simple throws that he is missing and off time. I don't know what it is mentally, physically, emotionally. I don't know if he's lost confidence. He certainly doesn't have confidence in the offensive line. There's no doubt about that. He is certainly protecting himself because the second there's some pressure, he is giving into that sack, and he is, he's doing some of the stuff he should have done in the past, but then now he's taking it to kind of another extreme. And so I don't know, dude. I don't know how to decipher it, but there's something is rotten in Denmark, as they say.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'm familiar with that phrase, but yeah, no, I mean, you're right about the taking it to another extreme, like the 3rd and 4 slide that he had, big topic of conversation this week as we followed up with him on that. And I think he's got to find that balance of now it's just so excessive in how he tries to protect himself because it's been trained in him and that he wants to do right by what he's been told to do. But then it's just sometimes, dude, you got to understand, it's also obvious here. That's a got to have it down. You have a chance to put a team away up 8 late. And then you leave it to a 4th down, and then you get stopped, and then they're able to make their comeback attempt on a couple of occasions. Almost had the 2-point conversion to tie, almost won it afterwards if Chris Olave doesn't drop a pass in the end zone after Jack Jones falls. So, it could have gone really awry, and you're right to feel nervous because it's not like this team has won 3 games in a row. It's 4 out of 5, but I mean, you're talking about the Washington Commanders on a neutral site who were
the last 2 games were like who wanted it less, pretty much.
Exactly. So it's not like wins that left you like the Falcons game, like the Bills game that left you saying, oh wait, there's something here. Like now they're kind of just squeaking by, which I think in a win streak you have to have both. You have to have the games that where you dominate and you're like, okay, yeah, this team really does have something going, and then you also have to win your clunkers of games, which have been the last 2, but eventually those catch up to you. So, yeah, you're right. Going on the road, a division rival, the Jets, after how horrible they were to start in the first half, now they've won, I believe it's 3 out of 5. I'd have to check the listings again, but yeah, so they've got a little bit of a streak going themselves, catching fire a little bit, and I put out the stat that the Jets have not intercepted a pass all season. Tua is tied for the league lead in interceptions. Something's got to give on Sunday. Which one will it be?
And the cold weather and all that.
Yeah.
I kind of think the Jets are going to get their first interception of the year. And it sucks that I feel that way because, if there's one thing I trusted Tua in is his passing, that he could be consistent in that if you gave him the time. Now I can't even trust that. And, I saw him miss a crossing pattern that he threw behind the Cedric Wilson pass. To me, there are simple passes, simple for him, that he is missing that I just don't understand. When Lamar Jackson misses it, dude, that's Lamar Jackson. He's going to be awry on any kind of a throw. I get that. This kid, That's not who he is, actually. I know he's not an athlete. I know he's not going to shake off defenders. I know he's not going to outrun anybody. I know he's not going to outmuscle anybody. I know he's not going to throw 70 yards downfield. But I do know this: when it comes to accuracy, anticipatory, and passing and ball placement, he is the best in the league at that. And when I don't see him doing that, oh, by the way, I just looked it up for you. It's one of the most famous idioms, I think is how it's pronounced, in English, for when things are seriously amiss, suspicious, or corrupt beneath the surface. That's what it is. It's a classic Shakespearean allusion. The line from Hamlet. It's actually something is rotten in the state of Denmark, spoken by Marcellus after witnessing the ghost of the murdered king. He's sensing the deep corruption, moral, political, and otherwise, has infected the entire kingdom, thanks to King Claudius's whatever. Anyways, it keeps going.
Yeah.
It just keeps
I get
going.
the point. Look at you referencing Shakespeare.
I am old, so shit sticks to me. So what do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But there is something rotten in Denmark when I look at what's going on with Tua. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you've put your finger on it, but it might be a combination of things, but some screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, when I've been asked, because I've done a couple of Dolphins Q&A, where we take reader questions and answer them. I always go back to the contract and show me the money. And that was the turning point. I don't know if it's causation or just correlation. I mean, it's definitely correlation because last year was a similar thing. He did end up leading the league in completion percentage. So I guess the accuracy that has fallen off this year, that wasn't there. But I think a lot of the other things we had seen sort of remiss from Tua's game going back to last season. And then, of course, he got hurt last season a couple of times. So that was another thing. He's been healthy this season. If you had a healthy Tua Tagovailoa season, you didn't figure it would look like this. So, I mean, I see that as the starting point. I know you mentioned Nick Hicks, so that's another one that's is it a correlation or causation? Because definitely that lines up with the different training he's had. So, yeah, I mean, this year they don't have Tyreek Hill, so there's that. Obviously, I know the offense has been, but I mean, still a quarterback. Tyreek Hill, you want him available.
If you're a quarterback, you're a quarterback, bro. You get the ball to players, period. End of story. And he's not getting the ball like he normally does. It's just not. It's not. Who was it? You said it was Big E, right, Sean? Big E put out a little video like, where's this Tua? And he's like out there throwing darts all over that dude is like, bro, that's not even the same guy. It's not even the same. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is nuts to watch like highlights from just 2 years ago and then watch him now. And I don't know what it is. Did the hip injury from last year screw him up?
He doesn't say so. So, I mean, we've asked this and, he put it behind like, all right, that's a thing of the past, had the whole off season afterwards. So, and I know it's unrelated, although, I mean, it's still a hip. So, but, it was unrelated to the college injury that cut his college career short. But still, it is multiple ailments on his hips. So, that stuff adds up. And maybe mental, too. Maybe it adds a mental hurdle, when you've hurt different things that then maybe could lead to your mechanics being a little bit off. So, yeah, there's a lot of things you can speculate as to reasons why. It's really hard to put your finger on exactly what.
Shakira would say, hips don't lie, baby. Hips don't lie. And it looks bad. So this is a game where you're going to depend, I would imagine, as always, on Devon Achane.
Yes. That is the answer. That is the solution for all things Miami Dolphins offense right now is stick to the run. As we've been trying to be a proponent of since the beginning, it's go to the run game, and I think now certainly, especially since you've had all the weeks without Tyreek Hill and then Darren Waller was on IR, so you were without both of them for a while. Then it's really been a dependence on it, and it's worked with the jumbo packages with Daniel Brunskill. That you saw Larry Borum have a good stretch. Cole Strange is starting to play his best ball since joining the Dolphins early in the season. And then, Austin Jackson is now back in place of, to take his spot back from Borum. So, what Patrick Paul and Aaron Brewer are doing. So, Julian Hill too, because Julian Hill opened up like that touchdown run that H10 had with 2 blocks. That was just perfectly executed. So a lot of that is working in unison, and then the run game is what you lean on.
Julian Hill has turned into the perfect number 2 tight end.
That's exactly what you want for an inline blocking, a block first tight end. Then he's doing it where you could have him and then Darren Waller be the pass catcher, they have to keep getting him the ball when he has those hot starts.
Yeah, well, that's for now. Darren Waller's not a guy you should ever count on. This was a desperation move, and they'll get whatever they get out of it. Next year, you're going to have to find yourself a number 1 type pass catcher, but you will have definitely Julian Hill in the mix to be your number 2 because he stopped the penalties. He's catching the ball when you throw it to him. And then on top of all of that, he can block his ass off. And that's always been part of his game. You know what I mean? It was fine-tuning the other stuff, and that's what he's done, which is really, really cool for Julian.
Yeah. No, he has very limited pass catching opportunities. In the moment, I remember I tweeted like, "Oh yeah, it was thrown behind him, but he's got to catch the one." Tua, he an awful throw on that one. There could be it's when you have the chemistry with a quarterback where you've done it a lot, where maybe Tua didn't want to lead him too much because there was another receiver who was covered in the vicinity and then didn't want to get too close to him. Probably wanted Julian to sit in that spot, and that's just kind of where like the chemistry when you've caught a lot of balls from a quarterback comes in of like maybe Tua wanted him to sit there a little bit, and that's why he threw it behind. But aside from that, he's been reliable. And of course the blocking that's what John Embry, the tight ends coach, what all the offensive coaches have seen and envisioned for him. And then, you're seeing it come to fruition, especially since he's cut down on the penalties.
All right. Good shit. Are you picking them to win?
I am. I got a close one. Dolphins 20, Jets 17. A little bit low scoring as it should be with these teams. Now it's the Jets without Sauce Gardner, without Quinnen Williams after they got traded. Garrett Wilson is on IR, even so he's still there. He didn't get traded, but now he's out. They got to stop the run against the Jets because the Jets ran the ball plenty against them. I'm sure the Jets will be protecting the football after what the Dolphins did with all those forced fumbles in the first meeting. There's always adjustments going from one meeting to the next. It's hard to sweep a divisional opponent. The Dolphins have done it a few times in recent history, I'm picking it. I'm for the Dolphins.
Tyrod likes to play against the Dolphins.
Yeah. Although I feel like that
Buffalo history, he had some success.
Yeah. Although I feel like that was a long time ago now. At this point, I remember it was like such a thing when was he with the Texans in 2021, and then that was like a talking point, and then that it ended up being one of the worst quarterback games. Him and Jacoby Brissett on the other side, and the Dolphins won a real stinker of a game, I recall. And then did he have another recent start since then? I can't remember, but I feel like that was a while ago. So I don't know. I don't want to make too much of that history at this point.
No, I know, but there is a history of him having success and the Bills weren't the Bills back in those days.
Oh no.
But again, the Dolphins are the Dolphins. So it's just kind of, the way it goes. But it's just one of those where I'm sure he has good memories playing against this team. Not that it means anything whatsoever. I agree with you on that. But, it's kind of been a thing that they've enjoyed. I just don't like the Dolphins in cold weather. It's not just a Tua thing. It's been a notorious thing for this team. It's never played well in cold weather.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see the highs of the day in the afternoon in northern New Jersey, which will be around 40, and then most of the game will be played in the high 30s. So not super cold, but yes, when you're coming from Miami, that's cool. Like everyone in Miami, that's freezing to them. So yeah, especially players who have been playing in this kind of warm weather. Maybe got a little bit of exposure to colder temperatures, even though it was pretty nice out in Madrid. But at least it's not like, it's always that first kind of cold that you experience that's most difficult
in Madrid. Even though it was raining in Madrid a little bit and it was cold, it wasn't like the 50 cold there wasn't as bad as 50 cold in South Florida. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe our humidity is like worse or something. I don't know what the hell it was, but like it wasn't that bad. Like when I was walking around, I could, I was handling it. Maybe it's because I was walking so damn much. My blood was like going all over the place. So I don't know what it was, but it just didn't feel like, it was in the 50s, but it didn't feel like it was that cold in Madrid. It was kind of weird. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon. I don't know. We gotta get a meteorologist on this. No, because it is true. Like when it gets to those temperatures in Miami, it always feels colder than other places. I don't know what it is.
It was weird, dude. I was there with my jacket in the 50s, and I was like, it's not so bad, It's like, okay, all right, well, I can handle it. I'm good. And normally in 50s in Miami, I'm freezing my ass off, dude. Injury wise, are they getting anybody back finally this week? What do we got?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're in a pretty good spot. But they've had everyone practicing this week. We'll get the final word within, I think, the hour now. Yeah, within the hour when Mike McDaniel speaks behind me. But I imagine Rasul Douglas will be good to go again. Abram Brewer had a new knee issue pop up on yesterday's injury report, so we'll check on that because now he has 3 different things: knee, neck, and I think the foot also.
He is a tough hombre, bro.
But he is. That's the thing. So yeah, you never count him out unless it was like some serious thing that happened yesterday, which we'll find out more.
I can't believe they're paying that guy just $7 million a season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he hasn't missed a start. Yeah, he's almost played every snap because he played every snap last season, and the only ones he has missed this season have been where at the end of blowout games. So I think only at the end of one blowout game too. So he's been so reliable for this team with his play and his availability. So I think pretty good on the injury front. Benito Jones only missed practice due to personal reasons. He had personal reasons added to his status, but I would imagine he's good to go.
Before I let you go, the draft class grade continues to get better as the season goes on, correct?
Draft class grade. Oh yeah, like the past draft class. So let's see. Let's break it down. Jonah is improving. Kenneth Durant also had the rough start, and I think he's been improving as well. Dante
Phillips and Biggers have improved.
Yes. So Jordan Phillips. Yeah. So now you have the 3 rookie D linemen who are really like consistently, playing in unison. I think getting a lot of chemistry together. Trader was playing more previously, and then has now taken a back seat with Ashton Davis back there. So,
but again, when you play him, he has been productive. Actually,
no, I like him. He's possibly my favorite rookie as far as what I've seen and potential relative to where he was selected.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
Jason Marshall has potential too. And we've seen him have to get thrown in there.
Yeah, rookie class has actually done well, and they're starting to really contribute in the second half of the season here to kind of help them out. All right, follow him on Twitter at @DavidFaronis_. Catch his work at the Sun Sentinel. What are you working on the Sun Sentinel, sir?
Yeah, I just put out a story. I talked to Zach Wilson this week. Good interview on him going back to MetLife Stadium and how he'll be one snap away from possibly playing against the Jets, who took him number 2. And after it was thought he'd be a longtime division rival of the Dolphins with the Jets, and now he is the backup here in Miami. And if God forbid something were to happen to Tua, then it's wild. Like he'll be playing in that game. So he talked about his experience and feeling like he's grown since then, obviously in a tough situation in New York as a number 2 pick, and then having it fail the way it did. That, and then I'll have all the news that comes out today once we get word on injury stuff and whatnot. So taking you into Dolphins Jets on Sunday.
All right, good stuff. Safe travels, my brother. We will catch up in the post-game show. Appreciate you as always. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You got it. Welton Rayom. We love them. Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. They are absolutely monsters. If the Dolphins perform like Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, we'd be winning titles every year. And if you want to make sure you crush the insurance company that's giving you problems, you call Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. If you're dealing with bankruptcy, government's giving you issues, creditors are giving you issues, call Welton Rayom. 954-966-4646. Business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, 954-966-4646. The consultation is completely free.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Your mic, go.
Sorry. I just saw on the board here, Evanescence is coming in June of 2026. Special guest, Spirit Box and Nova Twins. It'll be June 11th at the West Palm Beach, I Think, Amphitheater, and June 12th at Tampa at Mid-Florida Credit Union, whatever the hell it's called. And so if you want to see Evanescence, there you go. Get your tickets, baby. Get your tickets. Good band. And Amy can sing her ass off. Let's see. Oscar Ross says, just like you been alive and seen experience, remember all championships, including ones we're getting tomorrow. Remember the Dolphins 73-74 win in the Super Bowl against the Vikings at 5 years old. There you go. There you go. It's a blessing to be around that long. The weather was nice in Spain. Yes. Enjoy a lot of your shows. Why are you not on Twitter? Maybe because you don't follow me, but I've been on Twitter forever at Big O Show. I don't buy the check mark. So when you don't buy the check mark, Elon doesn't, you don't get your tweets and all that kind of stuff don't get exposed like they normally do to a lot of people. It gets limited. People can't send you messages. I've had friends and agents and other people tell me, hey, I can't DM you because it says you're not a blue check mark. And so then I have to send them a DM to kind of open up so they can then send me something after. It's really limited when you don't pay for the blue check mark. And I don't feel like paying for it. So I already had it. So, just one of those things personally. So it hurts my tweeting and all that, but I don't really, I'm at a point in my life where I just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I just don't give a shit, and so that's kind of the way it is. And if they want to run their business one way, that's fine. Doesn't necessarily mean I have to go with it. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's switch gears. Hour number 2. Let's talk a little Canes. Let's get into a little recruiting, NIL, poll, everything, all kinds of stuff to talk about with the Miami Hurricanes with our Big Cheese Miami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
Right. Good afternoon to you, sir. Or good morning to you, sir. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing good, just ramping up for college football free agency and all the guys that'll be entering the transfer portal here in the next couple weeks. All these exit meetings are basically taking place throughout the sport, and all these kids are finding out how much money they're going to make next year and deciding whether or not they're going to stick around. And so when January 2nd hits and they can start signing and figuring out budgets at different places, that's when we'll get some answers here.
All right, so talk to me. Tell Canes fans who are the big cheeses who are going to move on to pro level.
As far as the Hurricanes, who Miami is losing,
yes.
I mean, I think it's obvious Francis Mauigoa and Ruben Bain are going to be gone. I think both of those guys are, they've got first-round grades. Where they end up in the draft, I don't know. It all depends on I guess how those interviews and everything else go, the testing goes, the physicals, everything else that teams look at to make those determinations. But I think both of those guys are gone among the underclassmen. Look, here's what I would tell Miami fans who are like, "Oh, we blew our chance, right? We didn't make the playoff this year, and Ruben Bain and Mauigoa are gone, and those offensive linemen are going to be leaving, and all this kind of stuff." This is why Mario was brought in, so that you wouldn't have a drop off, so that you continue to recruit at a high level. And so, in all honesty, I am not concerned, because I think Miami has recruited at a level like the Ohio States and the Georgias and the Alabamas, where the bodies are here, and now it's just a matter of, have you been developing them? And I think on the offensive and defensive lines, which is obviously the two most important areas, they've done a good enough job there where you shouldn't see a drop off.
Right. It's just a matter of win the games that you're supposed to win, and put yourself in that position, and that's it. Like, this year I had you at 11-1 because I'm going to give you a break on one. Next year, I'm not giving you a break. Next year, you need to run the table now.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand, maybe if you slip up one game, people will give you a break. But if you slip up two games in a bad conference, it puts you behind the eight ball, and you're UM, and you're going up against Notre Dame, and you're going up against, all that other bias stuff that's in there. This is why I'm not losing my mind with all of this. And it's just, bro, don't lose the Louisville game. Now next year, because you've recruited so well, now you can't lose a game. Now your schedule is not strong enough for you to lose any games next year. You should win all your games, including November 7th against Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be the game that'll be the tell sign to their season, right? And how far they can go in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff next year. Because Notre Dame, yes, they're losing Jeremiah Love, and there'll be guys that go pro for them, but they're just like Miami. They recruit at a high level. They're going to have their quarterback back in CJ Carr. He's been phenomenal this year, CJ Carr. I mean, I was telling you going into that game, like, this kid's the real deal, and he's lived up to it. But yeah, the rest of that schedule, I mean, you got at Clemson. You're going to be at North Carolina, at Stanford, and at Wake Forest. I mean, none of those games right now give me any pause. And then you got Virginia Tech, Pitt, Florida State, Boston College, Central Michigan, and FAMU at home. And there'll be one more ACC opponent added to this at some point, because they only have 3 non-conference teams on the schedule. So there will be a 9th ACC opponent. We just don't know who it is yet.
Okay, so let me ask you something for playoff purposes for tomorrow. Talk to the Canes fan out there. What are they rooting for that you think will sneak them back into the playoffs? Is it a BYU loss? Is it an Alabama loss? Talk to me. What do you think needs to
Yeah.
really happen?
All I can do is give you my best guess, because who really knows what the hell the selection committee is really looking for and what their agendas are underneath the table. But the way I read the situation is, number one, you need BYU to lose, because BYU would with a win automatically qualifies, and I don't know that they're going to knock Texas Tech out of the field. So you essentially need to move 2 spaces up here. If you're Miami, you're at number 12. You need to move into the top 10 if you're going to move into the field. BYU losing is a requirement for that. Now, the next variable is what happens if Miami and Notre Dame are side by side. A lot of people are speculating that if that happens, the committee is going to flip the teams because they're going to look at the head-to-head result. Now, what guarantees Miami and Notre Dame being side by side? Making sure Alabama doesn't lose, because if Alabama loses, then all of a sudden they can flip Notre Dame and Alabama and just say, well, Miami and Notre Dame aren't next to each other in the rankings. And so now Miami can't pass Alabama or Notre Dame. And I can guarantee you, with the SEC bias that we've seen, they are not going to penalize the loser of the SEC championship game and knock them out of the playoff, especially if it's Alabama. They did it to them last year. Alabama did not make the field. If it's a close game with Georgia, I guarantee you Alabama will not be dropping out. So to me, I think that helps. And then the one other game I would say is if Duke upsets Virginia.
Oh, God.
And the ACC is potentially in a situation where they don't have a representative, that gives the committee extra impetus to flip Miami and Notre Dame. So if we recap it, BYU losing is number one. Alabama beating Georgia or staying close to them is probably more helpful for Miami than the other way around. And then the next step would be James Madison winning their championship, finishing 12-1, and Duke beating Virginia. And then the selection committee saying, well, we can't screw the Hurricanes, or the ACC rather. Let's put the Hurricanes in ahead of Notre Dame. So I know it's a long, complicated explanation, but that's the best I got for you right now.
Isn't this Billy Napier's James Madison now?
Yes, he will be taking over as the coach of James Madison this coming season, and I'm sure he'll do well there. Every coach who goes to James Madison wins, dude. Like, that is
James Madison, Richmond Spiders, like Louisiana Tech. There's like some of these programs around the country that they're like sneaky good. Mm-hmm. Like you take them you take them for granted or something, and they might bite you in the ass. And James Madison is one of those too. Yeah, they're one of those kind of programs.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They will. They always do well. They're well funded, and they have good players. I mean, Signetti obviously came from there. Had success there, and so to me, you'd be dumb if you're a coach and you pass a job like that up at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, you're making all that other Florida money on the side, so
yeah, you're getting supplemented either way.
They're paying you the difference anyway, so you're still getting paid a boatload of money either way while you're coaching James Madison. So it's a smart on his part. All right, let's on the recruiting side, what do we know?
Well, I mean, just that they signed a fabulous class on Wednesday. I think there's really no holes in it when you look at it on paper. I mean, the offensive line obviously needed to be retooled. I think you potentially have 2 starters. Quarterback is the one area that the transfer portal. We know that's where they're going to go for sure, and look for somebody I think who's a little bit more mobile than Carson Beck. Somebody that they can use in a multifaceted offense. People have been speculating it's going to be the quarterback from South Carolina, Lenora Sellers, if he doesn't enter the draft. So I don't know if that'll be the case. I don't know if it'll be Sam Levitt from Arizona State if he ends up entering the portal. But Darion Coleman, the freshman they signed, I like a lot. And people have been comparing him to Cam Ward. He throws from all different kinds of arm slots like Cam does. Tough kid, tremendously fast release, really good arm strength. So he's just short. He's 6 feet, 165 pounds. Now he's got people in his family and his family history that have gone through growth spurts. So there's the hope that maybe he'll grow a few more inches here. But we'll see what happens. But he's not going to come in and win the jobs right away. It's going to be a transfer. And I think it'll be Darian Coleman and Luke Nickel competing to be the 2027 quarterback.
Okay. All right. Darian Coleman. All right.
Good kid. Good kid. I met him a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I went up to Orlando to an Elite 11 camp and watched him, and immediately was like, whoa, that kid's release is so smooth and fast. And he was going to go to, I think, Oklahoma. And then Oklahoma ended up taking another quarterback in his class. He was upset about that. And Miami swooped in at the right time and got him. So.
Okay. I know Devin's asking about Ole Miss, but Ole Miss they already have their coach. They already named the guy that's going to be in place, right? I mean,
yeah. The defensive coordinator, Pete Golding, will be taking over there. And, look, I don't expect too much of a drop-off. I know Lane Kiffin is an awesome coordinator, but this is an SEC school that's spending a lot of money on football, and you better believe that after Lane Kiffin stiffed them, there's gonna be a lot of motivated donors and boosters over there to.
Is Gold a charismatic guy? I don't know.
Well, he's been on. I think he came from Alabama previously, or Georgia, and one of the SEC schools. I'm forgetting which one it was. And he's been around a lot of great players for many years as a coordinator. So, I think he's well liked in that locker room. Obviously, Ole Miss is known more for its offense than its defense, but I think he's been around enough guys over the years to earn the support of that roster. And we'll see what kind of play caller they get in there, who they hire to replace Kiffin. But that's what the next month is all about. There's going to be a lot of movement going on.
So let me ask you something. What's going on in Penn State that coaches are avoiding it like a predatory area?
Really interesting situation. I just wrote a story about that today. Should be posting online for the Athletic shortly. But I mean, it's crazy. They only signed 2 high school recruits. I mean,
is Jerry Sandusky still hanging around there or something? What's going on?
I just think the athletic director has really done a poor job getting them ready. I think they thought they were getting Kalani Sitake from BYU, and they thought it was in the bag, and they were basically waiting for him to finish the season, to finish the playoff run. And once the guy from Crumble Cookies, the big time BYU booster, found out, hey, listen, this is I got to step up. This might actually happen. He forked over a shitload of money, and so Kalani Sitake is very happy to be staying amongst his Mormon brethren out there in Utah, and now
source in the world at BYU.
Oh, people don't realize. They don't know. They have no idea how many resources they got out there.
So rich at BYU. It's a program that could easily be a monster. It really is. I think the whole Mormon thing and all that kind of stuff is the stuff that might turn off the average kid around the country. But if they kind of tone that part down, which is they're not, because that's who they are. But if they kind of tone that part down and opened it up a little bit more,
listen,
the
it's
money
a
that
tough.
they have, oh my God.
It's a tough sale, because you kicked off your quarterback for having premarital sex. I mean, that's essentially what happened. And what do you expect to happen in college, right? I mean,
it's a rite of passage to have premarital sex in college. What the hell are you talking about? Why am I becoming a frat? Why am I becoming an athlete? Why am I becoming a musician? I want to get laid. Let's go, BYU. Catch up to the rest of the world. Yeah, that's the problem. All those kind of things. And going back to the original conversation, in Penn State, you had a 3-game. Oh, that's it. We're going to shit on you as a coach, and you're gone. And I think the rest of the coaching world is looking at that place, going, bro, they might be Penn State, but they act like they're minor league there at times, right? Is that what's going on?
They do, certainly, and I think. What wasn't appreciated, people forget, like before James Franklin got there, the mess that he essentially inherited. Like Penn State wasn't thriving. I mean, they haven't won a national championship since 1986. And I get it. There's a lot of Penn State fans out there. We got a lot of editors at The Athletic that went to Penn State. So I hear them talking. And when I was arguing with them that Florida and LSU were clearly better jobs than Penn State, they were like, no, that's impossible. I'm like, dude, what has Penn State done? Like, what have they done? Like, you want to criticize Miami and say Miami hasn't done anything in a long ass time. What has Penn State done? Like, it's been a place of misery for a long time. So I just
look at their uniforms. They are misery. I mean, give me a break. Look at Penn State. Everything about Penn State is miserable. Their look, their uniforms, obviously their recent history under Paterno there. I mean, there's a lot of misery going on. Those people don't realize that they need un despojo, like fast, like fast.
Absolutely.
We need to see a couple old ladies from Hialeah doing a little Santeria over there, bro.
The reality is there's not much difference between Penn State and Nebraska. And from a recruiting standpoint, you know, Nebraska has to go everywhere else to go get their players, and Penn State does too. That's just the reality of it. Yes, they've got Philly down the road, but a lot of those Philly kids and those New Jersey kids, like, they want to go to Notre Dame, or they want to go to Ohio State, or they want to go play, you know. So I just, they're in a tough situation, and I think they were banking on Sataki. And now that didn't happen, every other coach is gone. Every other coach is already committed elsewhere.
Okay, so if you're the Iowa State guy, you see that shit going on. You've done a monster job there. You're about to be able to write your ticket to go almost anywhere. Why go to Penn State? If I'm the Iowa State guy, I'm holding out for a better job than that mess at Penn State. But that's just
me. I mean, money cures a lot of evils in this world. Now, I will say this about Matt Campbell. He has been offered a lot of money to go other places before because of the job he's done at Iowa State, and he hasn't left. So this will be a really big test to see it. And I'll tell you this, man, like, again, and I told you, they signed 2 guys. If they don't promote Terry Smith, who's the interim coach now, everybody else who they have coming back, which, by the way, it's not that good. I looked at their roster. It's just not that good. They were 6-6 this year. If those guys leave and they have 2 high school recruits coming in, like, what happens then? Like, do they even have enough to field the team next season? Because all those kids could go in the portal and just say, screw it, I'm not sticking around here. Are they suddenly going to become what Indiana was? Is that what's happening here? Did Indiana and Penn State switch spots in the world? Like, is that what we're going to see here? So
I'm not leaving Iowa State for Penn State at this moment. If I'm him, I'm waiting for another job is what I'm waiting for. Because right now I'm God at Iowa State as it is. Right. So, you know, why do I need to leave? I'm super comfortable. Let me wait for another job that becomes available in the Big Ten or SEC, and then I'll jump in because I know people are going to be knocking on my door. If I'm him, that's not the place I want to go to. I saw that and I was like, wow, dude, no, you're on a good path. Don't inherit that.
Well, I think Penn State's other option is Manny Diaz. I think that's the only other one that makes sense to me.
I can see Manny taking that job, actually, because you're coming from Duke. So yeah, right. I can understand that one, actually.
Yeah, and that's the only name I've been told by a lot of other GMs I've been on the phone with. They think that Manny's the only one that they could at this point get.
And he knows the place now. So
right.
Yeah, he was the D coordinator there, so he has some familiarity with it. I think that would be a good move for Manny, and a good move for Penn State is to get a guy. That's what you want to do. Move from Duke to Penn State. But Iowa State, I know Iowa State is not Penn State either, technically, but this guy has made him and his position super sexy, that there's going to be another monster program that will knock on his door sometime next year. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Somebody who's frustrated and not getting it done will reach out to him, and that's just the way it is. With this,
how did Florida not reach out to this guy?
Well, you know? maybe I mean, I don't know what Florida State's going to do here. I mean, they obviously decided to hold on to Mike Norvell.
Apparently, right? To get rid of Norvell, right? Is that
it's like $60-something million to pay him to go away.
Yeah, because are they still paying off the other guy that went to Texas A&M? Are they still paying him off?
You're thinking about Jimbo? No.
Yeah,
No, Jimbo. No. I think that's over and done with. Yeah, all their and Jimbo left, for Texas A&M. He was looking at his promotion.
You like the Summerall guy that Florida got?
I think he's good. I don't know that he's great. The problem with Florida, as long as I've been studying this roster construction thing, they decided to invest when they decided to basically put all their marbles in recruiting, right? And Billy Napier developing guys. If you look at the way, because Mario and Billy were hired at the same exact time, Mario cared about recruiting, but he also knew, I don't have any frontline guys, and I got to win if I'm going to have any success here. And the problem was Florida said, no, we're going to just pay DJ Lagway a shitload of money to come here, and he's going to be the savior. And he clearly wasn't. So I don't
clearly didn't what's it called, compliment him from the get-go so he can grow a little bit better too at the same time.
Right. But they basically threw all their marbles in on DJ Lagway and a lot of those young players. And the thing is, though, if you don't win on the field, and again, Florida's in a much tougher conference, like week to week to week. You have injuries and but they were a talented team. There was no doubt that's one of the most talented teams Miami faced this year. The problem was they couldn't win because Lagway wasn't good enough and that offense wasn't good enough. And so and this is a defensive coach that they're bringing in, So I don't know. They're gonna, to me, the offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner, who they're bringing in, is good. He was good at Georgia Tech, but I got to see what they have around Lagway. What kind of offensive line is he going to have? Running back, all that stuff. And at Florida, you got to win something. You can't go 4-8. You can't go 6-6.
For the Iowa State guy, if I'm Florida or Florida State, that's the kind of guy I want, bro.
Right.
That's the kind of guy I want, dude. That would have been right there.
Yeah.
That's I don't know anything about this guy from Tulane, right? I think it is. So
yeah, he played at Kentucky and obviously he started off at Troy, won at Tulane. So he had success at 2 G5 schools. That's the difference between him and Napier. Napier only won at Louisiana. So, I mean, look, I think he's an upgrade over Napier because he's done a better job utilizing the portal. Like they identified the right guy after they lost Darian Mensah and Retzlaff to come in and lead Tulane to the conference championship game. So he's good at. He's more of a modern day coach, a better fit for Florida. But you're asking me, is he Lane Kiffin? Is he going to lead them to national champion? I don't know. I don't see that necessarily. I think he can get them to 9-3, 10-2, and be on the doorstep of the playoff every single year. But I don't know that he's going to elevate them to Urban Meyer, level.
By the way, back to the James Madison conversation.
Yeah.
Troy. Another one of those stupid schools that if you go and, we're going to play Troy, it'll be easy. Oh, really? Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, go think that. And then Troy surprises your ass because they actually have people players. They're another one of those little schools that you're like, don't overlook those people. They will fight you, All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, I was mentioning that Penn State story that I wrote. I'm hoping that comes out soon. I got my oddly specific picks for the championship weekend. I have my Miami 2026. Everybody's asking me, what's the 2026 roster going to look like? I'm like, dude, I wrote the story on Monday. It's been up on the website. Like, go look at the position by position breakdown if you want that. So, and I did a new podcast yesterday with Carlos Ledo on Wide Right. So if people want to listen to that and get our thoughts on the playoff and everything else, they can listen to it there.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Better yet, subscribe to The Athletic so you can get all of that stuff. Subscribe to the podcast, all of that. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch up next week.
All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you, sir. BigCheeseMiami.com. Oh, man. Telling you. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Those garlic rolls are to die for. All the dishes, by the way, can become party platters. And we are now in the party platter season. So if you're going to have some kind of a holiday get-together with your employees, with your customers, friends, family members, and you want to order out because you don't want to cook, BigCheeseMiami.com. They can deliver. You can pick it up. Any dish can become a party platter. By the way, if you want to get together, you got a party, a birthday from up to 40 people, they've got a patio area now that you can rent there at bigcheesemiami.com. Call them, 305-662-6855. You can get the prices depending if it's, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people. Ask and then, figure out what you want to eat, all of that. They can do all of that for you. So you guys just show up, give out your awards, a good get together, whatever it is. They take care of the rest. They serve you the food and you have a great day and you have great food. And by the way, when you're going and eat at Big Cheese, you're also going to get family portions. So you're going to get big servings, okay? And you're going to probably take some food home. It's not like one of these restaurants that, you've been seeing around town, lots of them, but somehow or another you're paying more and they're giving you less. At Big Cheese Miami, you're going to get a big old plate that you're going to get stuffed. 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. Call them 305-662-6855 and check out the menu, bigcheesemiami.com.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes! After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Mike.
Sorry, would help to turn on the mic. There you go. Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well. And remember, you can hit the like button. Very important to hit the like button. Smash the hell out of the like button. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a donation to the show. Send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. We always appreciate that. Bitcoin in a nice dip right now at 88,867. Told somebody that I would not be surprised if we test 8082 one more time. We'll see if it does. But I think it could happen. I think this could be our final dip before we really take off. I thought yesterday maybe we'd screw around with 94, 95, but obviously did not. And so now we've had some liquidations. Obviously, what ended up happening By the way, with CPE, did it come in a little hot? Did it come in cooler? I don't even know. Because I've been doing the show, so I don't know what the numbers were this morning. And let me see what the market, just by the market's reaction. Well, it's on the plus side, so maybe we had a good one. Trying to see where the hell is that news? I would figure it came in already. All right, well, if I find it, I will pass it on. But obviously, there is some good news. Market is up 66 points. The S&P is up 8, and the NASDAQ is barely up. So that tells me maybe the numbers weren't anything great. Here we are. Your PCE price index 0.3. And they were expecting 2.9, so it came in hotter. Core PCE at 0.2. Let me see. 2.8, which they expected 2.9. So it came in a little cooler, but not by much. So I guess, I don't know. I guess it's not moving much yet. The problem is also you have so much instability and so much inconsistency from the top with the tariffs, because they have no idea what's going to happen from one day to another, because you have an emotional little bitch who's running the country. So that kind of becomes, if he doesn't like your politics or like something, he wants to then raise your tariffs, Anyway, so it is what it is. What are you going to do? What do we have here on the chat board? True Fin fan, good morning to you, sir. Today's a good day to have a good day. Well, today's a good day because we woke up. That's it. The Lord blessed us with another day. If I'm in Minnesota, I'm on the phone with the Dolphins about Tua. Would he be a good fit? They can't do that. They can't do that. They got to cut him. They can't even trade him. They have to cut him on June 1st so they can break up the cap hit into 2 years. That's why. If they trade him, they take the entire hit, and then they have to tear down more of their team. So they can't do that. And this won't be an active free agency because they're going to have a lot of dead money. They're not headed in. They're headed into 2 years where they won't have a lot of money for free agency. And so they're not going to be going crazy in free agency. It'll be more about draft and development and yada, 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 and all that kind of stuff. They need to cut him. And then good for him, because then he gets to go wherever he wants or whoever wants him. But if he has multiple suitors, he gets to go where he thinks is better for him. So that's the positive for Tua. But the Dolphins will have to release him on June 1st if they're going to do it that way. We have a stupid owner. We have the fact that, okay, this is a subject that I did want to talk about. The fact that people have Mike McDaniel coming back is the most disturbing thing there is in the world. How the owner would even think of bringing him back, it just shows that you have an owner that will never, ever, ever win a championship here because he doesn't get it. And for the people that I hear talking or writing about, well, maybe Mike McDaniel's done enough to, doing enough to save his job. Bro, have you watched what's gone on for 4 years? Did you watch what's gone on in the last 2 weeks? They were wins, but they were poorly coached and poorly managed wins against two absolutely horrible opponents. And you could barely win those games. This is a terrible coach. There's no reason to bring him back, but this is what I'm talking about. So if we have an owner that doesn't, dude, Dan Marino doesn't give him good advice. Nat Moore doesn't give him good advice. Tom Garfinkel doesn't give him good advice. Whoever you see in that building, whoever you see inside that suite, these are all the same people that have been around him for years. And he's a complete screw up. So clearly, whatever those people are suggesting isn't anything, because he would have tried it at one point or another, or he's done it already at one point or another, because they're still around his inner circle. Okay? So he has nobody giving him advice. And if we keep hearing that, well, maybe Mike McDaniel will be brought back, or they're going to bring back Tua because of the salary, well, then you're a bad owner. Because when it's not going to work, why would you bring anything back? Why would you bring back Mike McDaniel? Why would you bring back Tua? That makes no sense whatsoever. Part ways. You don't want him suffering any more injuries to cause any more problems down the line that you might be stuck with. So if he ends the season healthy enough, then, dude, you need to cut bait already. And when it comes to McDaniel, there's no reason to ever bring back McDaniel. There's no reason that he should be employed right now. The fact that it's a conversation by people in the media, the fact that it's a conversation overall, it's disrespectful to your fan base. Mike McDaniel has zero business being employed. In fact, it shows what a poor organization you are that you kept Mike McDaniel and you let go of the GM. That makes no sense. You don't do it that way. And the fact that you didn't put Weaver in his place weeks ago, I get it. We can't listen to some of you out there because, of course, you think Weaver's a bad coach. You don't have the balls to admit that anymore now that you were wrong, but that's all right. But again, I don't expect the owner to have even the vision that you have or I have, that you could have fired him after the third week and put Weaver in place. Last year, you could have fired him and gone after Vrabel. Whether he takes the job or not, I don't know. But if you give Vrabel the keys to the kingdom, he might take the job. And I would have taken Vrabel over anything you're going to get this year, next year. Oh, and that's the other thing. Well, the candidates this year aren't that good. Well, the candidate you have right now absolutely sucks. You have a clown as a head coach. Give me a break. This is a fool that has accomplished nothing, and he's out trolling Bills fans after a win finally? Wow. This is not a cool guy. This is not the guy you want running your organization, and he proves it every day that he doesn't belong. And yet we hear that he could be saving his job? What job? What McDaniel has done cannot be saved, cannot be salvaged. He is pathetically embarrassing every single week. Man still can't win challenges. We're 4 years in. So it's just a ridiculous conversation to talk about Mike McDaniel having any kind of a future here with the Miami Dolphins. That shows that you're just an absolutely horrible organization. David, by the way, says there will be a Dolphins-Jets rally at Slattery's in Midtown, which I love that place in New York City. So if you guys want to go by there, I wish I could go by there. But we only invested in one trip this year. Maybe next year we'll invest in one trip and it'll be the MetLife takeover just to go out and hang out with the fans. Not because I really give a shit about the game or the team, because who cares? Next season is going to be another shit season. Skylar says, oh, this was a minor nod to the conversation, but I commented on one of the Hicks past IG and said Tua was better with your training, and Hicks liked the comment. Well, it's true. He looks completely different, bro. Just completely different. It's hip to be square. That's right, Brian. Way to go with the little Huey Lewis. I like it. Norcal says, dude, how crazy is it? How bad McDaniel is with the challenge flag? Oh, he is the worst. Will Canada have a favorable draw? If you're Canada, what could be favorable for you? You're worse than every team that normally is in the brackets anyways. The Dolphins have robbed the Tua's career in hope of he gets a chance somewhere else. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope he does get a chance. I hope he's healthy enough. I hope he can get back to playing the way he was playing 2 years ago and then go somewhere and has success because he's a good dude. But yeah, I mean, this is a terrible place. That's all it is. This is just a terrible place. Stephen Ross is a great businessman, a billionaire, very successful. I'm not questioning his business acumen, but as a football owner, the guy is lost and has zero cojones. Yep. He is a complete waste. Absolute complete waste. Big O, what time is the rally? I was planning to go to Slattery's for the game with my ex-girlfriend who's a Jets fan. Who is it that put it in there? Whoever put in the rally over at Slattery's, tell us what time. What time? They want to know. They need to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. By the way, we thank R&M Contractors. Ray and Mike, they do great work here in South Florida. I've been talking about them for a while. Several of you have called over the last couple of years here. And R&M Contractors, by the way, you can go see their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. That's RMC Fisher Island. Go check it out. And got some stuff that went on today. First of all, the Bank of Canada, which is a $400 billion bank, has bought $273 million of MicroStrategy Bitcoin ETF. The Indiana House introduces a bill that would allow pensions to invest in Bitcoin. And the bill also protects self-custody. This is Indiana, the state of Indiana. Netflix. This has really nothing to do with crypto, but I had to mention it. They buy Warner Brothers for $82.7 billion when you include the debt. It's a $72 billion purchase, but they were in debt for $10 billion, so they bought the debt and they bought Warner Brothers. So Netflix now, I think they got their shareholders a little bit more than $12 a share. I think. I don't know. Something tells me that. But we do have a dip in the market, and right now we are still, what we are is in a consolidation phase, and it's where we've been for a couple of months, and it's what we do all the time, okay? When we go to new highs, then there's a consolidation time, and then we'll go to new highs again, and there'll be another consolidation, and you will shake out the longs and the shorts, and you will shake out the lettuce hands, and all of that, and we'll continue to build. And then the people that are the pros, the whales, they will continue to stack. The little minnows like us, the little guppies like us, will add, we'll take our $5 here or $10 there, that kind of stuff. So everybody will end up benefiting from all of these dips. Those that know. Those that don't will panic sell. Will barely make any money, will probably lose money because they just didn't have any patience whatsoever. So stay with it. This is just a phase. I think we'll be well over 100 by the end of the month, and I think we'll be at a new high by the middle of January. And all of this will be forgotten, And those of us that bought the dip will be laughing our asses off. Okay. Kevin Hassett will be put in very soon. And his presence will change everything in the Fed over Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell will be kind of a lame duck for the next couple of months. And rates will continue to be cut. And markets are going to get juiced. So risk assets are going to fly. Enjoy. Not that this is financial advice, not that I'm financial advisor, not that I know anything whatsoever. So there you go. What else do we have? Tua is having a bad year, but have we not seen other QBs have bad years? I know I have. Yeah. I'm just saying overall, you're not going to succeed here in Miami, So it's just a bad place to succeed. I'm talking about just overall as a career and everything else, not just short-term win a game here or there or produce a winning season. Just be productive overall and set yourself up. This is not a great franchise for that, unfortunately. By the way, I see that Florida State has dismissed defensive backs coach Patrick Surtain Sr. Sources tell On3 Sports. Okay. Staff changes were likely to come this offseason. Florida State has reportedly fired Patrick Surtain, who was the defensive backs coach for FSU. That's after 3 seasons having been on the staff. After previously working at American Heritage, as well as being a defensive assistant for the Miami Dolphins, Surtain came to Florida State in 23. However, he was among the first coaches to be taken off the staff this offseason for the Seminoles. Over the 3 years, defensive backs, Florida State has had some decent seasons in pass coverage. It allowed 57.7% completion for 190.6 passing yards per game. However, that was up in the past 2 years as the entire defense slipped off a bit. The Noles gave up 62.5% completion and 196 passing yards per game. When it comes to pass coverage, few names, though, are more qualified than Surtain. He posted 13 interceptions in his college careers. And all that. And we know he was an exceptional player. It is what it is. You're part of a bad staff, and you will also take the fall. He'll be fine. He'll get a job somewhere else and move on. I would probably blame more Norvell than anything else, but they're stuck with the dude. What are they going to do? Right? They're paying him all that money. It is what it is. All right, let me do a little music. A little musica. We should be getting the wise guy picks now any second. By the way, are we under? Where are we at right now with Bitcoin? 88,557. I'm getting ready. Getting ready, baby. Take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. Got a colored TV so I can see the next play basketball. Him and talking about checkbook, credit cards, more money than a sucker could ever spend. All right, let's go with musicians born on this date in December 5th. Carrie Hilson, who's written songs for Britney Spears, Pussycat Dolls, Mary J. Blige. She's kind of talented. Her breakthrough came in 2007 after appearing on Timbaland's single The Way I Are, which topped the charts around the world. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. Craig Gill, drummer from Inspiral Carpets. I like Inspiral Carpets. I'm a fan. In 65 on this date, Johnny Resnick was born, the singer for the Goo Goo Dolls. Let's see. Les Nemes, bassist for Haircut 100. Love plus one. Jack Russell, rest in peace, founding member, lead singer of Great White. We just lost him last year in August 7th at the age of 63. Jim Messina, singer, songwriter, guitarist, obviously Buffalo Springfield, also Loggins and Messina back in the 70s, born in 1947. He also formed Poco in 1968. So he's kind of, Jim Messina's got some skills, okay? That's all. For those of us that follow his career. Let's see, who else? Kim Simmons, only consistent member of the blues rock band Savoy Brown, born in 1947. 1946, produced Andy Kim, Rock Me Gently, Rock Me Slowly, Take It Easy, Don't You Know That I'm... Okay, all right. By the way, he also co-wrote Sugar, Sugar, dun, 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 dun. Oh, honey, honey. Eddie Serrato, with the drummer with the Mysterians, born in 1945. Let's see. Who else is celebrating birthdays today? Little Richard. Good golly, Miss Molly. Born in 1932. We lost him in 2020 at the age of 87. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Now we go with other famous people born on this date, December 5th. Remember, if I don't give you the age, that means, unfortunately, they are no longer with us. Okay, here we go. All right. Pope Julius II. We just lost him last week. He was born in 1443. I remember hanging out with the dude. Yeah. He and I went to Woodstock together and everything. I was 3. He was carrying me. But we had a good time. Martin Van Buren, 8th President of the United States, born in 1782. General George Custer, born in 1839. Scientist Werner Heisenberg, born in 1901. Walt Disney, born in 1901. Hell of a list, dude. Damn. Let's see. Hall of Fame member Jim Plunkett, born in 47. He is 78 today. Comedian actress Margaret Cho, born in 68. She is 57. Those of you that watch Grey's Anatomy, Margaret Cho was there. Let's see, who else? Paula Patton, born in 75. She is 50. Actress Amy Acker, born in 76. She's 49. Actor Gabriel Luna, born in 82. He's 43. Actress Lauren London, born in 84. She's 41. Actor, should I really call him a race car driver? Frankie Muniz, born in 85. He's 40. I guess so. I guess he had the balls to get behind the wheel. I certainly am not going to do it. So I guess we'll give Muniz race car driver too on top of actor. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on the date of December 5th, sir?
I do, and I can confirm that Frankie Muniz is a race car driver. He was full-time in the truck series in NASCAR this season, and he's racing in some in the Xfinity as well. So, race car driver.
He's official.
He is official. Birthdays. Serena Linton, is 25. Larry Zbyszko turned 74. And a man way ahead of his time, the Dynamite Kid, was born on this date in 1958. Those are your birthdays for December 5th, 2000. The year's 25.
All right. Fox Business says Donald Trump doesn't want to push FIFA to pull matches from crime-plagued U.S. cities, but says his administration will act if necessary. You're not going to act shit, Orange Man. FIFA runs the show, bitch. You don't run anything, mofo. You ain't changing a damn thing. So shut the hell up. Just like you ain't eliminating income taxes, just like you're not giving me a $5,000 Doge check, just like we're not giving me a $2,000 tariff check. By the way, especially for you Trumpies out there, I just want to ask, do you people continue to be really fucking stupid and believe every lie that he says? Where's your $2,000 tariff check? Where's your $5,000 Doge? Do you believe he's going to eliminate income tax? He's collected like 240 billion of tariff, but he says trillions. So he'll start paying off the debt and cutting checks to you. You know, I'm just wondering, how far does your stupidity go from your fandom? Because, you know, the sad part is so many of you are actually fans of politicians. Fans of politicians. What is wrong with you? Just wondering. Because, I mean, by now, I mean, how stupid are you to believe anything the guy says? Just wondering. Just wondering. Because, you know, it's a fanatical, you know, group that shows very little common sense. So I'm just wondering, how far is your stupidity going? So every time he says something, do you believe it? How stupid are you? I just want to know, how stupid are you? Just want to know. Because, man, some of you are looking really stupid. Let's start off with music history. Let's find out what happened today in music history. Let's start off in 1960. Elvis Presley started a 10-week run at number one on the U.S. album charts with G.I. Blues. His fifth U.S. album, and music on this album comprised songs that appeared in the film of the same name. In 75, on this date, Fleetwood Mac received their first gold record for their second self-titled album, which was the first album with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. That, for me, is the superior Fleetwood Mac. The Peter Green Fleetwood Mac is all right, but it's not even close to the Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks. That's when Fleetwood Mac is just like Genesis. Dude, I get it if you like the Peter Gabriel Genesis, but please don't insult my intelligence and try to compare the Phil Collins Genesis to the Peter Gabriel Genesis. Okay? It's some psychedelic, weird-ass stuff that they were doing. It wasn't that great. In fact, Peter Gabriel's solo stuff is so much better than Genesis' early stuff. Now, from Genesis, Phil Collins on, that is when it took it to the next level, just like Fleetwood Mac. You know, I get some people want to live in that, you know, in that deep past sometimes, but let's not make a comparison and try to make I've seen people try to make that argument, and there is no comparison whatsoever. In 87, on this date, the Jesus and Mary Jane were banned from appearing on a U.S. music TV show after complaints of blasphemy when the group's name was flashed across the screen. In 87, Belinda Carlisle went to number one on the U.S. singles charts with "Ooh, Baby, There's a Place," what is it? Heaven is a Place on Earth or something like that, right? The ex-Go-Go member, first solo number one, also number one hit in the UK. Fun fact, the promotional video was directed by Diane Keaton and features an appearance by Carlisle's husband, Morgan Mason. How about that? By the way, you look at Belinda Carlisle in 1987 when she breaks up with the Go-Go's and then she goes on her solo. Just go look at her physically. She was at her most beautiful at that moment. It was like a divorce. You know, like when people get divorced, they go hit the gym, they eat well, and they kind of get in the best shape that they can at that age, and they try to look better than they did with their partners for the last like 10 years or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. And then they go out and they showcase themselves. You know what I mean? That's exactly what Belinda Carlisle did in 87. When she broke up with the Go-Go's, it was like a divorce. And she came out and she looked outstanding, dude. That reddish orange hair that she had going on. Wow, dude, she was stunning at that moment. In 92, Whitney Houston started a 10-week run at number one on the UK singles charts with "I Will Always Love You." Great song. Great freaking song. In 95, on this date, Pearl Jam released the Merkin Ball EP featuring Neil Young. It features "I Got ID" and "Long Road." In 2003, Keyless released her third studio album, Tasty. and it features My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. Let's see. In 2003, David Bowie announced that he had postponed the first of 5 concerts for his North American tour in 8 years due to the flu. In 2004, U2 went to number 1 on the U.S. album charts, giving them their 6th U.S. number 1 album with How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. And in 2011, after spending 45 weeks at the top end of the UK charts, singer Adele's second album, 21, becomes the biggest selling LP in Britain this century, surpassing the late Amy Winehouse's 2006 Back to Black. Let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list. So far, nothing. Dr. Dre was not on that list. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Not the record producer, but the host of Yo MTV Raps and Ed Lover and DJ for the Beastie Boys. He's 62. Okay. Well, that's why. Okay. But happy birthday to Dr. Dre. The other Dr. Dre. And it's spelled Dr. Dre, not DR like the other Dre. So he kind of knows his place, I guess. There you go. That's what happened today in Musica history. We await Steve Calabro for the wise guy picks. They went 3-0 yesterday, by the way. So we'll see what happens. World Cup draw is starting now. Yes. And okay. It's not a big thing for me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'll be rooting for Spain also besides the U.S. because that's obviously my origination of my blood, you know. So I will be rooting for Spain. So that'll be the one that I also will be looking at because that's like my side piece. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a little side piece, you know. Isn't that what Chris Carter said? Oh no, it's a fall guy, not a side piece. I'm sorry. By the way, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. We are at 88,925, which is a beautiful thing. Okay? Absolutely beautiful thing. Loving it. All right. I'm actually taking advantage of an altcoin that fell below my average so I can actually, make a little bit of a purchase, which is a beautiful thing. All right. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. You can also send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. By the way, Twisted Sister has announced their 50-year reunion tour, and several of the originals are there. Outside of the drummer, pretty much everybody's there, especially that you need to see, obviously, Dee Snider, guitarist and everything. So you're good, but it's mostly European dates, nothing in North America. And I got to tell you, Dee Snider, his voice still sounds really, really good. So if you get an opportunity to see it, I don't know if anybody that's watching now or later on in the show, you're somewhere in Europe or South America, but you've got dates in Brazil, Mexico, Sweden, Italy, Spain, Belgium, Denmark, the Tons of Rock Festival in Norway, by the way, the Rock Fest in Barcelona in Spain, the Middelade Rock in the Vine Valley in Bulgaria, They're going to be in Cologne, Germany. They're going to be in South Wales, UK. They're going to be in Aarberg, Switzerland. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There's one in North America, Palmer, Alaska, the Alaska State Fair. So there you go. And I'm sure some North American dates are coming. And hopefully I will get something close to me. Even in Florida, I'll drive to go see them one more time. For sure. I love Twisted Sisters music. Yeah. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll is such a fucking good song, man. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. They do a good job. They do a good job overall. Anyway, so appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Very important that you smash the hell out of the like button. Oh, what else? What else? Big O, let's hope the Dolphins get a victory cigar Monday. Well, no, we could get it in the post-game show because it's a post-game show for them. So we'll give them a victory cigar on Sunday, and we'll give them another one on Monday because not everybody tunes in to the post-game show. So hopefully we will, and hopefully they get a win and get to 6-7 and, you know, beat the Jets. It's always fun to beat the Jets. It sucks to lose to the Jets. I'd rather beat the Jets than lose to the Jets. So it would be nice. They have an opportunity, although I will tell you, dude, I'm really nervous about this game. This is the kind of game that they lose. Cold weather. They haven't really played well the last 2 weeks against two shitty teams. And the defense for the Jets is playing much better right now, and Tua is not playing well. Okay? You guys know I've given Tua every break in the book. I've been very supportive of Tua overall, but I've got to call shit like I see it. And right now, he's just not the guy. He's just not the guy. Not the guy that I want for this situation. You know? Now, if it was a really tough situation that your backs are against the wall, the one guy that I do want is Steve Calabro. Because, you know, he's going to come through for us. Especially the wise guy came through for us last week. 3-0.
Big O.
Steve Calabro,
wise guy. 3-0.
Shadow Man is with us.
Shadow Man. Listen, I got to tell you, the Jersey wise guy I believe his record is 13-8 in the last 7 weeks. And he's talking trash this week. Talking a lot of trash. He's saying that he's going to be he's going to have another 3-0 week. You know, he gets a 3-0 week. He gets a little cocky. That's how the Jersey guys are.
Right.
You know those guys. You spent time in Passaic.
Yes. Definitely. I meet those characters all the time.
Characters.
Of course. That's what they are. They're characters.
Does that mean, Big O, that I'm from Jersey, that I'm a character?
Well, you could be. Yeah, you could be considered a bit of a character. But by the way, Mr. Character, let's give them the skinny. He went with the Pats -7.5 against the Giants. I told you, and that kid will never learn.
We talked about that.
Did you see him in the post-game show? In the post-game, it's like, well, I understand you guys are worried about me, but have you watched my career? This is how I play, and this is that's how you play here. You cannot play like that at this level.
Not in the NFL. Not in the NFL. I mean,
no. Tim Tebow ended with a punctured lung and broken ribs, and Tim Tebow was thick, like a brick house, bro. And he wasn't Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger, tall and big. But he was he
was built. He was built like a brick,
And he ended the season with a punctured lung and broken ribs. You cannot run in this league, bro. You have to make a living from the pocket, and that's where I think this kid, that's his problem. I don't think he has the confidence to make a living from the pocket and only run on desperate situations and slide. Run out of bounds, bro. Never take on contact.
Now I'll tell you what happens though, Big O. Some of these guys like Jackson, you know, they're seeing and he's getting away with it. They're seeing Buffalo. They're seeing Josh Allen do it, right? And Josh Allen's career is going to be shorter.
But he's twice the size. He's twice the size of Jackson Dart.
I know, and even him being twice his size, I don't think he's going to go. He's not going 20 years like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. He's going to go a shorter period of time because he plays too hard of a game. Even Josh Allen, and he's big and strong.
Bubba, once Josh Allen can't run, his career is over. Why?
Done.
He can't live in the pocket. He's not a guy that can make every snap in the pocket. He's the guy, if he doesn't see the throw, he has to run. It's like Lamar. These guys don't age well because you cannot age well in this because you're going to get slower and you're going to get hit more and they'll wear you out. They wore out
miss games.
They wore out Cam Newton, who is built like Adonis. Okay?
Yeah, and that's the thing, because think about it. In defense of what they're thinking, you know, they're playing high school football. They're running all over the place, beating everybody up because they're running into 180-pound guys, right, that are half athletes. Then they go to college. They're running into better athletes, but they're still strong and big, and they're young. Remember, their bodies are young too, you know. Then they get into the NFL, and everybody is Adonis, and you're running into these bricks, and your body's getting older. And, you know, look, Lamar's missing games now. He's going to miss 4 or 5 games every year for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I don't wish that on him, but it's a possibility.
I don't know. He lasts 5 years, actually.
Well, yeah, but he'll hang on, and, you know, he'll be.
But I don't think he's a starter for 5 more years the way he plays, unfortunately, because he's going to take on too many hits, unfortunately. All right, so he also had the Niners -5 against the Brownies, which was easy. And he had the Bills -4 against Pittsburgh, which is a complete fraud of a team, which was great. So 3-0 last week for the guy. That's pretty good.
I have this week's.
Okay, let's go.
They're interesting. I don't know if I would have touched this game, but Browns -4 over the Titans. Now the Titans are horrible, right? I mean, the Titans are going to be the worst team in the NFL, probably.
They are
Browns,
a terrible team.
You know, the Browns, they should beat the Titans. 4 points isn't a big deal. So I'm okay with that. But I don't know. Now, this one, I like this. And it's really about who shows up at quarterback. Does Danny Diamond show up, or does the other Danny show up? Colts over the
he has a broken fibula and everything. So this one's kind of weird right now. We have that game right now. Where is that game? We have Jacksonville. It's Indy -1.5.
Yeah. So he wants Colts, you know, and he's giving the Jags 1.5. That's a tough one. You know, that's not, you know, Danny Diamonds isn't Danny Diamonds, but we'll see. We'll see on that one. And then this one I like. Maybe it's not a homer game, but like a game that I'm rooting for this team. And we just talked about it earlier, but he's got the Bills -5.5 over the Bengals. I think the Bengals defense is horrific, right? And I think the Bills should play well. I like Josh Allen. I'd like to see him beat the Bengals. You know, I mean, the Bengals, they got a decent offense. There's no doubt about it.
-5.5?
Yeah, -5.5.
Okay.
And so that's the 3. Now I got to tell you that's if he goes 3-0 on those, he's crazy.
The other one that's kind of iffy is the Indy one that I'm a little iffy on, because the problem is I don't know what Jaguars team is going to show up. I don't know what Trevor Lawrence is going to show up. So I think that's why he's picking Indy. And by the way, Indy's at a point now that they got to start winning some games because they're
they're a good team, but they got to win to get into their world, into their playoff, in the right place in the playoffs. But you know, did I tell you something about Indy? I guess why I think they might win, and it has a Jersey flair to it.
I was going to say it's inside New Jersey or something that we.
No. They're going to win because of Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor is from Salem, New Jersey. I just want you to know that. Actually, as a matter of fact, wait, now I might be figuring.
By the way, did they have witches also in Salem, New Jersey? Like
no, it's all farmland. But I can tell you, did I mention I'm from New Jersey? I don't know if I mentioned that.
No, you've never mentioned that.
So I happen to know a little about New Jersey.
From Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo, North Dakota would be. I look like the North Dakota guy. You know, this is lot of North Dakota guys with the dark hair, slick back with the mustache, and
plus the sun doesn't show up there, so yeah, it's always dark. So yeah,
yes, I'm dark. But now I can't even think. Now you got me going. In. But the Jersey Wise guy, he played football, and he lives near Salem, New Jersey. I'm letting some information out. He lives in South Jersey.
Does he practice witchcraft also?
No, that's a different Salem. You're in Massachusetts.
Does he smoke Salem cigarettes?
No, but he might have in his earlier days.
This guy with a cigarette and making a bet.
You got to do it with the finger up, the finger up, and it hangs out. It's like, that's a. But the Salem, New Jersey is really a suburb of Philadelphia. How's that?
Wow.
Probably about 20 minutes from the Philadelphia Stadium. A little note of trivia there. The guys up in Passaic, you were up in Passaic.
Yes.
Nobody in Passaic even heard of Salem, New Jersey.
No.
It was just like, but they say New Jersey is. I'm gonna leave you with this. Well, I didn't even tell you. I got to tell you some before I leave you.
You're giving a damn car away. I just saw it.
New Year's Eve, a Mercedes. New Year's Eve. I mean, tell me, why would anybody go anyplace else on New Year's Eve other than Hialeah Park? It's like a no-brainer. We're giving it away. The odds. You've explained to your viewers. You explain to people all the time. The odds are unbelievable. You can earn entries all month, and then on New Year's Eve, you're going to be out partying.
And only a fraction of the people show up for the raffle, dude.
Exactly. And you're going to be you could be dancing, hanging out in the casino, and have a good odds to win a Mercedes. So there's one thing.
Yes.
Two, in poker, I mean, if you're a poker player, you need your head examined unless you come to us. We've got raffles pretty much every day, $10,000 raffles. We have a $200,000 AK Royal, Ace King Royal, and a $100,000 bet. The 200 is actually over 200, and the bad beats 100,000. I mean, I don't know. We got to get this. We got to go to everybody now, because I think people just need to know that there's some amazing things on the poker side here, and a Mercedes. Come on, you'd look good in that Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
You bring that home to the wife. She's like, hey. You done good, Big O.
That's how you're supposed to phrase it. The wife will look good in the Mercedes.
Well, you brought it home to the wife. You said the second phase. I just said the first sentence.
Most of the time I'm going to drive it is on the way to the house. That's about it.
On the way to give it to her. Yeah. You bring that home.
Like, get out of my face. This is my car now,
Hey, she gives you an extra hug and a kiss when you bring that home.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. If I got a hug and a kiss, I'll be the first one this year. So that'll be good.
Yeah, I doubt it. I tend to think that might be a little different, but at any rate, it's all good. The Jersey guy is, hopefully he's 3-0 again.
Browns -4 against Tennessee. Indy -1.5 at the Jags. Bills -5.5 against Cincinnati. He went 3-0 last week. That's all we can say.
He's right now he's 13-8.
Yep, 13-8 on the run right now. So there you go, folks. Wise guy picks. Steve, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend. By the way, you didn't get picked for jury duty.
Oh, no, Big O. It was really bad. It's really bad. It's worse than that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't the model juror, okay? And I've been on some big jury cases, right? And the judge got a little mad with me.
Why?
Well, she didn't like my attitude, right? I was just.
Oh, you're a Jersey guy. I mean,
she didn't like that. She didn't like it a little bit. So she dismissed me, and she says I have to go back on January 5th.
Oh, God.
She punished me.
Okay, well, then you're just going to have to bring more of a Jersey attitude to it on the 5th.
I wasn't being mean. I was just being honest. I go to a courtroom. I go anywhere. I'm honest, right? And in a courtroom, they don't want to hear honesty. Apparently, they don't want to hear that. That's like, oh, God forbid that. We tell the honest truth.
I love it. So you're giving us a key. Be honest, and they'll kick your ass out. I love it.
No, I got kicked out and have to come back.
Well, that's a whole different
the people that were dishonest and came up with some cockamamie, I got to go help my blah, blah, blah. I'm traveling on Tuesday and Wednesday. They got dismissed. So I'm not saying you should be dishonest. I'm just saying I was honest and the judge didn't like it. So I got punished a little. So I got to go back on who goes to jury duty and gets summoned to jury duty the next month.
Only a Jersey guy.
It's bad. I was a little bit Jersey wise guy. You would have been. You would have been. Oh boy. You would have been proud. You would have been proud. Yeah.
Proud. Yeah.
It was.
You don't want to be part of this.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a bad scene, and the whole thing is crazy. I mean, it's so inefficient. It's crazy. But I have served, by the way, and I told them this, and they kind of went in when one ear went out another ear. I have served on like 5 cases. I get called.
That's why they asked you back, and you shouldn't have said that.
I know I had to fill out a survey.
Judge, I don't know what it is, but they're always kicking me out from all this stuff. It's that's it.
Big O. I was on a case in the 90s. Get this. I was on a case in the 90s. They wrote a book and made a movie about it.
Wow.
Blind Faith, the Marshall case. A guy, I'm going to give your viewers, this is amazing. There's a bunch of Blind Faith movies, but Blind Faith, the Robert Marshall case. Robert Marshall pays to have his wife killed.
Wow.
He pays this dude, Billy Wayne. But Billy Wayne gets his buddy Larry to come along with him. Larry is the trigger man, allegedly. Okay? Get this. But Billy doesn't tell Robert Marshall that he's got Larry with him, right? So they plan to meet like on the highway in New Jersey. In New Jersey, crazy as it is, right? I was a jury in New Jersey. On the Garden State Parkway, they get in this area. They come in there. Billy Wayne's driving the car. And then Miss Maria Marshall gets shot and killed. Horrible. Robert Marshall gets convicted of murder for hire. He's the only guy in the history of New Jersey that got the death penalty and lost all his appeals. You got like a half a dozen appeals.
Right.
Now, they rescinded the death penalty. He died in jail after 26 years. But here's the key of why your viewers should watch the movie Blind Faith. During the trial, Billy Wayne, the guy that got paid, he turns state's evidence. So he's the witness for the state, and the state gives him a deal like, you tell us what really happened, we'll let you go free. Larry, the alleged triggerman, has this amazing attorney who is confusing everything and creates reasonable doubt. I know one thing for certain. I know
awesome.
One thing for certain.
So he kills a woman, he gets paid for it, and then gets away with it.
Here's what I know for certain. Billy Wayne or Larry killed that woman. I'm 1,000% sure. And both of them walked out of the courtroom that day free. That's pretty bad.
So it was a well-hung jury, is what you're telling me?
Sort of. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, well hung. It was well hung. It was the only thing I was pissed off about was Robert Urich is the star in the movie, right? And I'm juror number. Robert Urich. Your viewers should watch this movie, right?
Anna.
Now listen, I'm about 35 years old at the time I'm a juror in this. That's some time ago, a few years back, right? I'm about it was 1990 or 91 or something like that, and I'm
the late Robert Urich, unfortunately.
The late Robert Urich, yes. And I'm juror number 4, but I have a beef with Hollywood because when I saw the movie, I'm 35 at the time, being juror 4. They got some guy about like 80 years old in seat number juror 4, so they didn't depict the Jersey guy, the Jersey casino guy, the right way.
Yeah,
wasn't true.
I think they wanted to pick somebody innocent looking, because if they put you there, they go, oh, wait a minute, that juror there, that guy.
Maybe he was the guy that shot
that guy there. That's why this thing was all hung. It was that guy right there, So
think about it.
Yeah. I think that the judge that brought you back, she also saw the movie and knows about all that too.
Oh, she's mad at me. Oh, that judge is mad at me. Yeah, but she,
Well,
I'll plead the Fifth Amendment on her, please.
January, just give her hell again, and she'll kick you out again. So
well, there's 90 judges in Broward, so maybe I won't have her. Maybe I'll have another judge. So anyhow, so I got punished and I have to go back.
Jersey, and you'll be fine. That's what we've learned today.
Go straight Jersey.
Go Jersey, and you'll be good.
I might bring the Jersey Wise guy with me. We go in together, with our Jersey outfits.
The best part is they'll kick you out, and then they'll make a note to never pick you again if you take the guy.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm shooting for. All right, man.
All right, my brother. You
Come on back. Take care.
Be good.
Have a great weekend.
There you go. The great Steve Calabro, and get your asses down to Hialeah Park. Play the slot machines, man. You get every time you pull that lever, you end up getting an entry, or push the button, you get an entry. So get a bunch of entries, come back on New Year's Eve. You might win a Mercedes. I don't know if I'll be there. I usually go for the other ones. I don't know if I'll be there for the New Year's Eve one. Maybe I'll tell the wife, let's get away for a couple of minutes and see if we can win a Mercedes. What the hell? That would be actually cool if we're able to do that. That would be very, very good. And yes, I am doing a post-game show tomorrow for Inter Miami. Okay. So yes, I will be on tomorrow. So my Saturday is not off. I thought it would be off, but apparently it's not. So what can I tell you? It is what it is, as they say. Anyway, we thank Manny Navarro. We thank David Furones. We thank Steve Calabro. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We appreciate all of you out there for tuning in. Please smash the hell out of the like button whenever you're watching. Don't forget to also share and hit the notification bell. We will see you tomorrow afternoon after Inter Miami defeats Vancouver. And then on Sunday, we'll be back for our Dolphins pre- and post-game show. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.